Did you know that the first Twisted Metal was originally named High Octane and then Urban Assault? High Octane can be referenced throughout the game, and examples are the posters in the very first level that advertise the game, and the cut endings. Speaking of those endings, they were going to be live action, but they were cut because... well...
Check out all the babes!
That was excellent fighting there at the end.
They are deemed a bit too sexist, cheesily violent, campy, etc. And this was directed by one of the TM creators, David Jaffe. The endings were dramatically different comparing to the ones in the final product, and they can be found in Twisted Metal Head-On Extra Twisted Edition, with all the shitty sound quality you need. Twisted Metal 2 is the best game in the franchise by fans and game devs alike, and hell, it's the only Twisted Metal game released on PC. But in the beta, most of the drivers' names and vehicles were different. Roadkill's Marcus Kane was JD, Twister's Amanda Watts was Andy Pearson, Axel himself had lighter skin and not wearing jeans, Hammerhead was Hammerhead with a space between it, Warhog's Captain Rogers was Colonel Dawson, and Spectre's Ken Masters was Alex Moore. Speaking of beta, Darkseid, Yellow Jacket, and Pit Viper were supposed to make a return in that game. Yellow Jacket didn't make it, but it's a background object in Hong Kong Crunch without the guns and stuff. Darkseid was a boss in the New York Rooftops, but also be seen in the game's options menu. And Pit Viper was replaced by Grasshopper, but in the game's files, it's named PV. Twisted Metal Small Brawl was originally going to be released on the PS2 with a similar graphics as Twisted Metal Black, with one exception. It was dropped and ported on the PS1 because it's not a good atmosphere when involving a bunch of RC cars destroying each other in a gothic state. It was originally going to be called Twisted Metal Kids, but the title seemed a bit too stupid and most of the games are T for teen at the time. And there was an ending for Axel, but it was removed because it was both racist and offensive to black people and privileged alike.
How do I make him go? You don't. Whoa! I love the artwork.
In Twisted Metal Black, many things were cut in the PAL version of the game, such as nearly all the cutscenes, because it's too dark and violent for the European audience. When a car gets destroyed, there's no driver on fire. The 747 plane in the junkyard level has already crashed at the start, and the text in the game's story mode was removed. Speaking of the game's loading screen with the text, if you play as Minion in the story mode, he speaks in numbers. From decrypting the frickin' numbers, this is what he's saying.
I do not think this is real. I must speak in code, or he will discover me. We are trapped in his head. This is how he sees the world, how Sweet Tooth sees his life. It is not real. All of us are trapped in his head. I miss the old colorful world. We will return to the old world one day. In the real world, my name is Marcus A. Kane.
There's a few cancelled Twisted Metal games. First, there's Twisted Metal Apocalypse, which took place in a post-apocalyptic environment dominated by Calypso's tournaments. They include Mr. Grimm, Shadow, Thumper, Outlaw, Crimson Fury, Sweet Tooth and Gas Mask, Darkseid, Minion, Warlock, Axel, and Hammerhead as playable characters. But the game was dropped because one of the game devs was not down with the post-apocalypse vibe. Twisted Metal Revolution was utilized street and hip-hop influences and featured characters with a more realistic look and gang stuff. Like Sweet Tooth looks more of a smooth criminal, which contains no Michael Jackson references here. And lastly, a sequel to Twisted Metal Black, dubbed as Twisted Metal Lost. The game can be playable in Twisted Metal Head-On Extra Twisted Edition, which contains 4 new levels and 2 new vehicles, which is Gold Tooth, which is the golden variant of Sweet Tooth, and 12 Pack, driven by a headless guy named Seven Boomer. And the game was supposed to have a 3D platformer element as well, to control the Sweet Tooth as well. but this was used in the Sweet 2 Rex on Twisted Metal Head-On, where you collect info about the can title, which includes artwork. But why is this canceled, you may ask? The story is given why the game had never been released. Because most of the development had died in the plane crash, like Lost. But this is often cited as merely an urban legend to create and gain more mysterious air to it. That's all for today. Don't forget to subscribe to the actual Digital Gaming channel and follow them on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget to check digitalgaming.com for gaming trivia every single day. And if you want to see me do some experimental shit, subscribe to the Illusion 2.0 for that. And want to see my older videos? Please visit to my old channel known as Mace 2.0. And P.S. I'm not done with this yet. I haven't started on the early development, 2012 version, and 98 Studios version of Twisted Metal. Stay tuned.
I am Calypso! And I thank you for playing Twisted Metal!